Hello, everyone. We are live here at the Homeschool Quest. We are going to be talking about starting a homeschool business. Today, I have with me Tracy Beckenhauser from Adulting University and Natalie Brotest with Nuggets of Wisdom. And we also have a presentation from Tina Arizonan from Big Easy Homeschooling Mom. Thank you guys for joining us, and I'm looking forward to really diving in and talking about your guys' tips, different types of businesses that you can start, and really what are the steps for going from a side hustle to a profitable business. And so let's actually go ahead and dive into the success path for a homeschool business. And you might be wondering, what is a success path? Well, that is what we're specifically talking about is the different stages that your business will go through as you're growing from being a side hustle to a small business to a profitable business. And what are the tasks and things that you need to accomplish in each stage in order to move to the next stage. So in stage one, this is where you are creating printables or courses or videos for your family, and you're selling them to give you a little extra income. This is a stage that I feel like a lot of homeschool businesses start at. A lot of the homeschool businesses that I know of are either homeschool moms or former teachers. So they are and they're people who have a passion for being able to share these educational resources. So the first step is to create a logo and decide on your fonts and colors. You also want to pick a unique name. And when you're creating that, you want to search on some websites such as TPT and Etsy to make sure that your name is unique. A lot of homeschool businesses may not have a website yet, but you can be able to search on TPT and Etsy to kind of get an idea of some of the other businesses that are out there. So you make sure that your name is unique, and so is your branding. So the next step is to decide on which platform to sell on. And this you can be able to sell on Ko-fi, which is actually your own dedicated space. TPT, which allows you to be able to add your printables to a marketplace, as well as have your own dedicated page where you have all of your printables. You can also sell on Etsy. Each of these has different fees associated with them and different benefits. You can also sell on independent websites like Nuggets of Wisdom, which we will be getting into in just a few minutes. It's important for you to decide on your primary platform, but also to put at least 3 to 5 printables on some of these other platforms for discoverability. You want to make sure that you are able to be seen on these platforms, as that is a great way for you to be able to make sure that you're covering all your bases, because there's going to be people that are searching on Teachers Pay Teachers. They're not necessarily going to be searching on Etsy as well. They're going to have a preferred platform. So you don't have to have all of your products on the same platform, but it is important for you to have a presence on each one of these platforms for your printables. I recommend that you set up at least one social media account. And you would want to pick your social media account based on where you spend the majority of your time, because that is going to be the easiest for you to upkeep and consistently post and be able to create engagement. Some of the top platforms for homeschooling are Pinterest, Facebook, X, and Instagram. So those are really great platforms for you to be able to create a community and engage with other creators, as well as find homeschoolers that are interested in your resources. A good kind of ratio is to post 3 other posts for every sales post that you do. So I recommend an awareness post that is talking about a problem that somebody might have that you are solving. A research type post, which might be people are like, okay, I have this problem. My kid has math anxiety. So I'm actually searching for something specifically that's going to help him with that math anxiety. And you might think this is the perfect time to pitch, but if you actually pause and you wait and you actually provide them with a list of here's things that can help with math anxiety, and one of those things is your product, you're going to get a lot more people who are coming to your website and interested in what you're offering, because you are actually sharing with them valuable content, not just pitching your product. And then consideration would be comparing different solutions so that they can be able to consider which one they want to go through. And then finally, a decision content. We go into a lot more in depth on this in the Homeschool Marketing Quest. We even have a quarterly planner that helps walk you through all the different stages in creating content. So if you guys are interested in that, that is available over in the Homeschool Marketing Quest. You should also share your products in the Homeschool Quest groups. We are one of the few groups in the homeschooling space that allows you to post promotional posts for products that are $30 or under. Our goal is to be able to connect these independent creators like yourself with homeschooling families that want to homeschool more affordably. So our focus really is on those free and affordable products. There is information available on how to be able to create posts that follow the rules, but you can share up to 4 unique posts a day in the group. So you really can be able to take advantage of that and share a lot of different content from your Facebook page, and share your products there as well. I was mentioning the Homeschool Marketing Quest. This gives you a chance to get pre-approved to post. So every single post that is shared in the Homeschool Quest groups is actually vetted by a moderator. So we are actually making sure that all of these posts, in fact, follow the rules, the live classes have good security, and that everything is priced affordably. And we are really checking these posts to make sure that it is quality content. If you want to skip the line and skip the wait, you can sign up for the Homeschool Marketing Quest. With this, we provide you with education on how to be able to follow the rules and post high quality content. So that actually makes it super easy for you. It's only $10 a month, and you actually get a lot of benefit because you also get access to our planners, classes just like this one over in the Homeschool Marketing Quest. We actually are going to be releasing a 2025 marketing planner really soon. So if you guys sign up now, you will get access to our annual planner, which helps you to be able to not just plan your marketing, but also helps you to review your marketing that you've done in the past year, to be able to set your goals and have realistic goals, and be able to plan your content and your sales funnel for the whole year. Makes it super easy so that you don't have to stress about that. Okay, if you guys want to learn more, you can go to small.link/HMQ. That's smll.ink/HMQ. Okay, let's talk about the second stage. This is the small business stage. This means that you're selling enough of your products to cover some or all of your business and homeschooling costs. So to get to the next stage, which is the profitable business stage, you need to identify your ideal customers so you can create products they will love. I have got this question a lot, and that is, what exactly is an ideal customer? Ideal customers need your products and are motivated to buy from you. Some people will talk about figuring out what their Spotify playlist is or their Starbucks order. With ideal customers and the way that we break it down, it's a lot different. We are actually digging into demographic information so that you know where to promote your content. We're talking about their pain points and the solutions that you're offering so that you can be able to tailor your sales pages, your product pages, your marketing, and even your social media posts to appeal to the people who are very motivated to buy from you. That makes it so much easier for you to actually be able to scale up your small business to a profitable business. So this goes hand in hand with figuring out your unique difference and the benefits of your products. This is going to help you to stand out from the crowd of all the other printables and online courses and tutoring services and coaching that is available out there. It's an essential step. You need to be able to answer when someone says, so why you? Your product. You need to have a succinct, clear answer that motivates someone to buy. I would highly recommend at this point to set up your newsletter and create a free base so you can start collecting email addresses. Your newsletter list is essential. It is still one of the most popular ways for you to be able to get the word out about your products and services. People are still spending a good amount of time in their email reading emails. And this means something that you don't have to worry about the algorithms, and you own this list. So unlike Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest, you don't have to fight the algorithms. You're able to send them an email directly and be able to continue building a solid relationship with your potential customers and past customers to then be able to make further sales. So if you do not already have a newsletter set up, I would highly recommend looking into MailerLite, SendBox, and Kit, previously known as Kit. These are 3 really good options for people who are just starting out with email marketing. They're really easy to use, and they are very affordable. So, do you want a quick way to fill your list with homeschool parents and get an average 50% open rate? Might seem like a really big question, but it's actually a lot simpler than you might think. Learn more about our list builder plan at small.link/list builder. That's smll.ink/list builder. So the next step is to create a content calendar for your social media, blog, and newsletter. This is going to help you know exactly what you're supposed to post on a regular basis so that you can have consistency. Consistency is actually probably more important than any of the other, like exactly what you're posting. Posting consistently will get you seen by your audience. It takes at least 7 times of someone seeing you on social media, your newsletter, your blog, in an ad, for them to actually decide to purchase from you. So if you can consistently put out your message, even if you are feeling like, oh, I don't know if I have the exact perfect wording, putting out a video, putting out a podcast, a blog post, even if it's just the first version and you feel like you could do a better version in the future, consistency is the key. So if you can be able to plan for doing, I would recommend like 1 blog post a month. That is better than doing 1 blog post a week or 2 blog posts a week for a couple of weeks, because that's what we see. We see people do, a blog post every week for 3 months, and then they get burnt out, and then they don't have blog posts. And consistency is so important. The next step to be able to follow through on that consistency is setting up social media automation, so you can actually schedule all of your posts out, because very few of us have an hour every day to be able to do marketing. So if you can set aside a specific day to schedule out your posts, then you're not going to have to worry about that for a whole week. And you can spend time creating products and coaching, doing tutoring services, doing additional marketing opportunities like podcasts. So you don't have to be chained to your social media accounts. You can be able to do other marketing tasks. So we personally use Social Bee for the Homeschool Quest. We really like that software. There's also Sendable and Social Pilot are also really good, affordable options. All of these are about $29 to $30 a month, and they make a huge difference in you being able to share content on a consistent basis and not have to come up with a new post every single day. You also want to get a professional website. And these tasks are in order of, so you want to set up your newsletter first, because that is super important. And then you want to get a website. You can actually start the process on both of these around the same time. A professional website is going to take anywhere from a month to 3 months to set up, depending on the quantity of the content and the quality of the website software. So something that is a build-it-yourself website may take a lot longer than someone who is actually doing it for you. So you want to add a sales page for each of your top products that have performed well on platforms such as TPT, Etsy, and Ko-fi. You can even just simply link to the page for people to buy that on your Etsy account if you don't have an e-commerce site software built into your website. But it's important to have a sales page, not just a product page, a sales page for each of your products. This is also the point at which you should start requesting testimonials to add to your website and asking people to post reviews on your printable platforms. Social proof is so important for you to be able to get new customers and return customers. So if you can be able to offer an incentive or simply ask people who've previously purchased your products, you should have an email list of them from Etsy or Ko-fi. You should ask them for a testimonial and review. On Etsy, you can even set up automation where you can give them like a 5% off coupon if they leave you a review. I was talking about this earlier. You want to start creating that content. That is one blog post and newsletter a month to start. The reason why this is so important is for search engine optimization and visibility. Your website, if you want it to be found, needs to be consistently updated with new content. You can then take that blog post and send it as a newsletter. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1 deal. You're able to create that content talking about, like I said, awareness, research, consideration, and decision content. And like I said, we go into a lot more in depth in the Homeschool Marketing Quest on what exactly that looks like. If you are looking to sell more products, I would highly recommend you guys check out the Sales Builder plan. That's at small-link/sales builder. That's smll.ink/sales builder. And you are going to be able to get access to our new branding course for homeschool businesses that is launching in February. That is 4 workbooks that are going to help you to be able to brand or rebrand your business so that you can be able to stand out amongst all the different printables and courses and tutors that are out there. Okay, let's talk about stage 3. This is the profitable business. Your homeschool business is an additional income source, and you can work from home to pay for your business and your homeschooling. This is the point at which you should add an e-commerce shop to your website so you can sell independently from online platforms. Because this is going to come with an additional cost, but it is going to mean that instead of having to pay each time that your product sells, or in the case of Etsy, having to pay a regular fee on top of that percentage that they're taking, you are going to be able to sell independently without a bunch of additional fees. This is a huge game changer for independent businesses. Once you're at a place where you can afford to add an e-commerce store to your website, something like Shopify or WooCommerce is a really good platform for you to be able to sell your products. You can also stay with Ko-fi and be able to successfully sell products through there and use that as your online storefront, like we do at the Homeschool Quest. Especially if you sign up for their Ko-fi Gold program, that waives the fees associated with the different products and subscriptions. I would recommend that you start a YouTube channel or a podcast to share your message with a new audience. This will allow you to take all of those blog posts and newsletters and social media posts and repurpose them into brand new content, and you will be able to share these in Instagram Reels, in Facebook Reels, on YouTube Shorts. It's going to allow you to be able to reach a broader audience. The reason I recommend that businesses do not start with this is this can take up a lot of your time that really needs to go towards developing your products. I would recommend at this point to start setting aside $25 to $50 a month for social media ads. This can be ads for your freebie to get new leads in the door. These can be ads for your top best-selling products. And these can be retargeting ads that are specifically targeting people who have visited your website in the past to get them to come back and make a purchase. You also want to get your website optimized for search engine visibility. This is researching your keywords and making sure that all of your content is showing up for those keywords. This is something that we can help you with, or you can be able to find a lot of information online about how to be able to DIY your search engine visibility. But I do recommend having a SEO expert take a look at your website and audit it and give you feedback at the point at which you are actually covering your costs, because this will help you to be able to get to that next level of profitability. I would also recommend that you create your own online community around your business. This can be something on Facebook. This can be something on a platform such as Mighty Networks that is off of Facebook. You want to create an online community around your business where you're able to answer people's questions and be able to provide a personalized touch. Again, this is the point at which you are already covering your costs and being able to pay for your homeschooling or for your business and have an additional stream of income on top of your costs. So you have time now to be able to invest in the YouTube channel or podcast and an online community. Hand in hand with an online community is creating a referral or affiliate program. This is going to help you be able to turn those people in your community that are super fans of your products and courses into ambassadors. So they are actually going to start reaching out to people on your behalf to then bring in more people to your business. And then you want to start thinking about hiring a VA to actually take care of some of these tasks you maybe don't enjoy doing or take a lot of effort to do for you. This can be social media, newsletter, blog posts, running your affiliate program, running your online community, editing your videos. There's a lot of different tasks that VAs can do for you. And we recommend Savvy VA, Nikisha Blaine. Her email address is savvyvarocks@gmail.com. She has some fantastic reviews, and she works specifically with the homeschool community when it comes to social media marketing. So I would highly recommend that you guys reach out to her. She is fantastic. So if you guys want to get more advice like this, please go ahead and join the Homeschool Business Builders group for free. That's at small.link/HBB. That's smll.ink/HBB. I hope you guys enjoyed that presentation. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and share them in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer them. I believe, Tracy, we're going to be hearing from you next.
Awesome. Yes, very excited to talk to you guys. So let me get my screen share on here and let me know when you see this. All right. Says it's sharing. Let's make sure.
Okay, so let's. And Natalie, if you could go ahead and turn off your camera. Let's see if I can get this, the aspect ratio. There we go.
There we go. Perfect.
You can see both of those now.
Yes, that's perfect. Okay, so hi everybody. So I'm Tracy Bacon-Haster. I own Adulting University, and so I'm taking a little different approach to this because I'm going through a lessons learned aspect, because I did a lot of the things that we just talked about backwards when I first started my business. Because when I first started, it was like, oh, you have to have all the things and do all the things. And I didn't start in a printable aspect. I didn't start in a side hustle. I actually lost my job due to COVID. And so I was like, well, this business I've been wanting to start, let's just go all in. So I went all in, and I learned a lot in a very short amount of time. And so my business is more directed towards the coaching and teaching aspects. I do have downloads and digitals and all that, but I don't do curriculum and academics. I focus more on career life skills and college readiness. So my business is a little bit different. However, the stuff is all the same, right? Everything we talked about, that Amelia talked about, is really valuable, and going step by step through that process and taking the time. But I really wanted to kind of walk you guys through some of the hard lessons I learned that I wanted to just pass on of, don't do what I did kind of situation if you're wanting to start a side hustle or start a business. Because if you do some of these things, it can get you in a lot of trouble. And I don't want that for you because I know what that's like firsthand. So number one, and this one was a hard one, and I wish more than anything I would have done this right off the bat, is know who are you helping. I've always been a helper by nature. I am somebody that loves to help people. I go all in when I help people. I'm a bit of a perfectionist sometimes. And so I was like, well, I can't just niche down. Like, I can't just focus on one group. I want to help everybody. And that's not realistic, because when you help everybody, you actually end up helping nobody. And so for years, I've struggled getting traction in my business because I wasn't talking to a specific person. I was talking to everybody. And so it was general and covered all this stuff. So finding who is your audience, like who is that person you're talking to. And I remember doing activities when I was in my undergraduate for business on like, oh, name your person, all this stuff. And I thought it was so silly to be like, why would I do this? Because I'm not talking to just Rebecca, I'm talking to all these other people. And it is so important to really lay out who is that person. And so initially it was, for me, was a very broad audience. It was, parents with teenagers. Anybody that has a teenager, I can help you. And can I help everybody with a teenager? Most likely. But does everybody with a teenager want to work with me or want my help? No. And so that is the piece of really helping and niching down to that really specific audience. And so I've niched down all the way down to where now I focus on, I still work with teens, but it's homeschool teens. And my audience I talk to now is mompreneurs. So homeschool moms that have side hustles, that have businesses, that want to invest in their teens' future and help set them up with life skills, career readiness, and all of that. And so that has helped me really hone in my messaging. So when we talk about the social media and your website and all that stuff, that's who you're talking to in those platforms, is your audience. And that is why it's so important to find that person. So that was one area that I really, really wish I would have known. So think about the problems that you're passionate about solving for who. Who are those people? Is it homeschool moms? Is it business owners? Is it teenagers? Is it elementary school kids? Who is it that you are really helping? The next lesson that I really is where to focus your efforts. So I used to really believe that like that niching down was saying no to opportunities, but it's really saying yes to the right ones. So focusing on those specific things of what is that lesson? What is that thing, that pain point that your specific audience is really working through and understanding? Next is keep it simple. Start small and grow. And again, big mistake that I made in the beginning, because I am a big picture person. I can see like what's possible. I can see the end result. I can see the big thing that I want to give students or what I want to give clients. So I go all in and build out the whole shebang. I'm also a bit of a tech nerd, so I love systems. And so I was like, man, I got to have all of it. I've got to have the automations up. I have to have the email marketing. I have to have all these things set up before I can start a business and before I can get customers. And that's not true. And that was a lot of money spent with no money coming in. So being very, very intentional on knowing, start small. I actually talked to a guy the other day about a business. He's like, really all you need is a way to take payments and a way to talk to people to get started, right? If you're doing downloads, and obviously a product that you're selling, but if you're doing coaching or something like that, you just need to be able to reach people through social media, messages, whatever it looks like, and have a way for them to pay you. But you don't need the full thing right off the bat, because as Amelia talked about, that's expenses, right? It costs money to have a website. It costs money to do social media ads and have an email marketing system and all these things. And so start small and then scale from there. Focus on one idea, one product, or one service, and one marketing channel to start, because otherwise you're going to get overwhelmed if you feel like I have to be on all the platforms, I have to be on all the things. Because here's what happens, and we all know this, right? We all know what happens if we diversify ourselves and we put our efforts to 10 different things instead of our effort on one thing. We can't give 100% to all of it. So if we're on 5 different social media channels and we're trying to manage all of it and post consistently and talk to the right person, we're going to be doing nothing but social media in order to do it right, and we won't be able to do anything else. So focusing on one step at a time. What is the one thing I want to sell? Go all in on selling that thing, and find the one platform where your audience lives and go all in on that platform. Then as that grows and you get success there, then you can start to scale and build from that area. But again, just knowing of like that challenge of starting small and then growing from there. Focusing on one thing. And so this is something else I really struggle with in the beginning, because I have a lot of experience. I have a lot of knowledge. I've worked in industry for a very long time. So I had all these different things, and I still have all these different things that I could sell, that I could focus on. But even now, 5 years into my business, I'm actually going backwards, and I'm focusing now on one thing. I am focusing on one program. I might have like a funnel. So I might say, hey, here's a freebie that's going to then lead into this paid item. But I'm not saying, hey, you could do coaching with me. You could buy this course for me. You could do this for me. And because what's going to happen is when we have all these different products, we confuse our audience. And so focusing in on one specific thing that feels doable to you, right? Mastering one skill, pick one thing and do it really, really well. Make sure it's valid, test that out before you go all in. And then once you feel like it's good, it's doable, then you can scale and grow it from there. Again, cannot emphasize enough to really just focusing in on one thing, put all your effort into one area and test it first. I wish I would have done that. There's so many programs that I've launched and didn't work out over the years because I was like, well, I know this is needed, so let me just put it out there. And even though, yes, it was a need, I didn't market it the right way. And so it didn't sell. And so I put all this effort into building something that didn't go anywhere because it wasn't what people wanted. And so I think that's important too, to really test that one item out before you scale anything else. The other lesson that I really wish I would have learned when it came to money, and I am a financial coach. I literally teach teenagers about money. I have an entrepreneurship course. I teach on entrepreneurship and money, and yet I still made this mistake of spending way too much in the investment trap, especially in the beginning. It was all the shiny things, right? It was the squirrel syndrome and like, oh, this is shiny. Oh, I need this because I don't know this about business. And I said yes to everything. And I bought this course and I bought that download and I bought this and that. Did I use everything? Absolutely not. Was everything valid for me? Absolutely not, right? In coaching programs, I've spent thousands of dollars over the years on programs and courses and all the things. And looking back at those first couple of years of business, I'm like, oh my gosh, the amount of money I could have saved by not doing that would have been massive, like massive difference on where I'm at now financially in my business, because I thought that's what I needed, because that's what everybody says. Well, you need a business coach. So yeah, you need to find $500 a month to hire a business coach, even if you're not making any money, because they're going to get you money. That's not true. Right? You have to start first and start to make money. And then you look for the investments that are going to actually be a good return on your investment. I've invested in a lot of things that did nothing for me, did nothing for my business, including several coaches that literally didn't do a thing for me. And I wasted money on it because I didn't do my research, because I didn't really know what I was getting into. And so just being very intentional, right? Start lean, minimal costs, and then test ideas, grow. As your business gets bigger and bigger and you have more consistent income, yes, it is a good idea to start to invest in professional development, to invest in coaching, to invest in these other things that are going to help you grow. Just make sure it's going to give you the return you need. There's a lot of wonderful programs out there. There's a lot of really terrible programs out there. And so really do your homework and make sure if this is not serving me, if this is not going to get me to the next level of income, then it's not worth my time or my money. So being very cautious of that, because I wish I would have done that in the beginning. And unfortunately, again, 5 years later, I'm learning that lesson now in the last probably 2 years, and really trying to scale back and lean everything and get out of things that I had agreed to that were not serving me. So beware of the shiny syndrome that happens in entrepreneurship. And then finally, the last piece for this on like what to do in business is being consistent. I was not consistent at first. I was all over the place. I was on social great for like a week and then nothing. Consistency is key, especially depending on who your market is, right? As somebody who serves homeschool families, if I'm not consistent, homeschool families are going to be like, but is she legit? Is she real? Is she still going to be here? Right? You get those questioning aspects that happen. And so I need to be consistent. We need to be consistent. So if you have that one platform you're on, consistently show up on that platform. Consistently do your blog, consistently do a podcast. That's why it's so important not to do all the things at once, because the consistency is going to fall away. You're going to forget to record the podcast. You're going to forget to put the blog post or the newsletter out there because you're trying to do it all at one time before you're able to hire help. So focus on one thing, grow it, be consistent with it, then add something else, and just keep going through that process, right? Consistency really does build trust, and it builds a lot of momentum. One of my biggest mentors in the marketing and visibility space, her name's Chrissy Connor. She's amazing. I love her to death. And she talks about this all the time. She's like, consistency is key. And I will tell you, I've seen it firsthand. I've had months where I didn't do much on social media. And then all of a sudden I started getting consistent, and I was consistent for like 4 or 5 months straight. And all of a sudden people were messaging me. People were reaching out to me. People were recommending me. That had never happened before. And it took me being consistent and showing up even when I didn't feel like it, even when I felt like this isn't doing anything, to really make that happen. So again, these are some of the lessons that I've learned as an entrepreneur in the business world, that I really, really, really encourage people that are looking at going into the space or scaling a business, that you really focus on this area. The reality is most small businesses fail within the first year because they try to do all the things, spend all the money, and they end up broke and they end up in a bad place. And I will be honest, I mean, thank goodness I have a full-time job that has helped fund a lot of the things, which I didn't want to have and I didn't have right away. But not everybody has that luxury. So being very intentional up front with what you can and can't do, and knowing where to best invest your time, your money, your efforts, and really being intentional. That was actually my word of the year last year, and I'm carrying it over into this year as well, is that intention of everything I do, every decision I make, making sure it has intention behind it. What's the intention behind this? Why am I doing this? And taking that mentality into a business model is really going to help you succeed. So again, I'm happy to reach out, or feel free to reach out to me if you have questions. I love to talk about business stuff. I love to share resources and other things that I have connected with and learned. Like I said, I'm a bit of a tech nerd, so I have plenty of things. If you are at that point where you're ready for some of that stuff, would love to talk to you. But I do want to share a little bit too about an opportunity, because again, my audience is serving homeschool moms that have businesses and side hustles. So what we do though, is we actually take a load off of your plate with your teenager. So, as homeschool moms, we carry a lot on our shoulders. We want the best for our kids, but sometimes it really feels like we're spinning all the plates. We're teaching, guiding, planning, worrying if they're, if we're doing enough to prepare them for life after high school. I've been there. I know how heavy that weight can feel. And the truth is, as much as we pour into our teens, there are some things they need to learn from others in a safe, supportive environment where they can grow into who they're meant to be, right? And especially for moms, sometimes it's like, yes, please take some of this off my plate. Imagine not having to do it all. Imagine knowing your teen is learning the life skills that are going to make them confident and capable without you having to stress about planning every step. Think about that peace of mind you would feel knowing with that day that your student steps onto that college campus or into their first real job after high school or into that apprenticeship or internship or whatever it is, that they're going to be okay. That that, man, they've got this. Like, we are going to be okay. Your team's now thriving. They're confident in their abilities. They're confident in what happens next after high school. I know a lot of students these days, especially teenagers, in this generation, they're afraid of what life looks like after they leave high school, because they see all this stuff on social media and on the news and all these places, and they see the tragedy and they see the difficulties we adults are going through and facing when it comes to finances and jobs and all this stuff. And they're like, I don't want to go into that. I don't want to be an adult. I don't want to grow up, because they're scared of what's going to happen and what that looks like, and if they're really ready for that. So I created a program called Level Up Your Life. We have a pilot program for this starting here in the spring, and it is amazing. I'm so excited about this program. I've seen way too many teens struggle to figure life out on their own, and too many moms feel like they failed because they couldn't do it all. This program isn't just about skills. It's about giving you and your teen the gift of confidence, connection, and a clear path forward. So we have enrollment is open now. We start in March, so very, very close, right around the corner. So we just want to make sure to like give your teen the tools and the fun and a community that will help them thrive and give you the freedom to just breathe a little easier as a mama, right? And just kind of giving you a space and knowing they're going to be okay. You take care of the academics, we'll take care of everything else. And so if you're ready to join us, you want to learn a little bit more, here's the website to go to. It's adulting-university.com/levelupspring. It is a phenomenal program, $27 a month for a fully gamified life skills program, student clubs, hangouts, all the things. So definitely would love to have you all a part of that. But otherwise, again, feel free to reach out with questions. I love serving families in this space. I love talking about entrepreneurship, and would love to share more about our co-op. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you for sharing that, Tracy. I really appreciated hearing a perspective of kind of like, I've done this, I've been here, and this is what I would avoid. I really do agree with you on finding the right coach for where you're at in your business. And we did have some questions about what do you look for? How do you, and so some of the questions that I would ask is, do they offer services for you specifically? So is their niche you? Because that is a really important aspect of finding the right person for you. And then, do they have successful clients who can offer testimonials? That's another big one. If they're willing to say, yeah, go ahead and contact so-and-so, or here's their testimonial. And that's something that's super easy for them to just send you those. You know that they are confident in their results. If it's a course, is it affordably priced for where you're at in your business? So whether that is a $10 course, a $100 course, or $1,000 course, is that something that you have to pause and think about and mull over? You may not be ready for investing in that yet. If it's something where you're like, oh yeah, I have $10, $50, I can do that, then you are ready to be able to invest that in your business. But if it's something that you're like, ooh, pause. Really think about that before you make that investment. And what are you getting for that price? And is there accountability and follow-up? Because everybody needs accountability and follow-up. And if they're not offering that, where are you going to be getting that? Is that going to be a group of friends that's going to be doing the course together? You need to have that if you're going to get the most out of that course.
Yep. I would agree. And I even add to like knowing your own learning style. Cause I think we talk about this in Adulting University with our teens that we work with, because that's the foundation of everything we do. We have to know how that teenager learns in order to get across to them the best way. And it goes the same way for us as adults. And when it comes to business coaching, if you're somebody that, hey, I can self-pace this all day long, I want something I can just go online and do it on my own time, or I want one-on-one, like for me, even as a coaching in a one-on-one space, I'm like, I want somebody to teach me how to do it, show me how to do it, and then let me go do it. Like that is how I work. Not everybody's like that. Some people like do it for me. Some people are like, hey, I need the baby steps and I don't know what to do and I need more time here. So know how you learn and know kind of that communication style that you have, because that's going to be important on knowing if that coach is a good fit for you or not too.
Thank you so much, Tracy. Natalie, if you would like to go ahead and turn on your camera.
Okay. And Tracy, I'm actually going to bounce a lot of things off of what you said, because a lot of it is in general, I don't want to say common sense, but a lot of it does fall along the same path line. No matter, if you're just beginning versus, a little more advanced, we do a lot of the same techniques in that. So Tracy covered about 70% of a lot, which is great. It's just good that, we're thinking alike. All of us are saying the same thing. And so when more than one person says the same thing over and over again, please listen to us. We've been there. We've been doing this for a couple years now. We're getting old. Okay. We kind of have that, motherly grandma feel to us, and not all, Amelia, you're too young, but some of us, some of us have, more experience because we have kids. We've been homeschooling a long time. We've been teaching for a long time, whatever it is. So I'm going to go more into the nitty gritties, I guess, a little bit of business, because Tracy runs hers by herself pretty much. She might have some help, but my business model is actually completely different than Tracy's in Nuggets of Wisdom. So first of all, how did Nuggets of Wisdom come about, get started? Well, 3 years ago, I've been teaching since 2010. I graduated, have a degree in education, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Got my experience teaching, and once I started homeschooling, I started creating my printables for my kids and just doing my thing. Canva wasn't even a thing back then, which is a great resource, by the way. I actually don't use Microsoft Word anymore for the most part. And so it's been interesting seeing the shift from Microsoft Office from when I was a teen into Canva and Procreate and other options that are available out there for creating resources. And it's phenomenal the amount of technology we have at our fingertips. We're spoiled. We're spoiled. And so just some things to think about. So 3 years ago, I actually started a business called Road to Success, and that was an epic fail. I failed. It did not go anywhere. I didn't have the funds really to put into it. There was a lot more involved that I was not ready for, that pushed me into creating Nuggets of Wisdom. But I didn't do it alone. I should clarify with that. So November 22nd, 2022, we opened Nuggets of Wisdom, and actually a friend of mine, Teach Me Truth, Elizabeth McMahon, she actually was the co-owner at first with me, and then she had to step out for personal reasons. Wonderful lady. She also has a digital website. I love her stuff, self-paced classes type thing. So if that's your learning style, go for it. That's awesome. So Road to Success, I shut down. Nuggets of Wisdom took off. And so my business model is very different because I hire contractors who create original printables, digital resources, self-paced classes. If you can digitalize it, even writing music, if you write music, I can actually sell that because of the TIFF documents. I can do all of that. And I know Tracy was talking about and Amelia was talking about the different email platforms and stuff. So we personally use Shopify because it combines your email, it combines your send the coupon for referrals. It does all of that for you. And it makes my life 10 million times easier. So I'm not spending all my time on the computer. I can automate my emails. I can do, the things I need to do. And then Facebook posting, like Amelia said at the beginning, is so important. Automate that. I'm still getting used to it. I'm not a techie. So I'm learning a lot of this. I have a lot of friends that did Python coding and stuff. So I'm like, hey, so-and-so, how do I do this? And so she'll show me, and we'll go from there. So I'm learning just as much, and it's a learning process. You're not going to get there tomorrow. Okay. It's not something you're going to get overnight and voila, you're a millionaire. Not going to be like that. But it's been fun. It has been so much fun just seeing the progression. So at the very beginning, what are some things you really need to think about when starting a business? Number one, federal EIN. Okay, that across the board is something that if you're in the United States and you want to sell something, either your social security number or federal EIN, the state law, state businesses, taxes, all that stuff there. Talk to a tax professional if you need to, because it's really important to get that down because the government doesn't forget you owe them money, right? So get your state laws, get your federal EIN, and think of a business name. Nuggets of Wisdom will kind of, I don't know, I took Psalms and I was like, you know what? Kids are like trees. We talk about how they sprout so quickly. And so the Bible verse that talks about they should be like a tree planted by rivers of water shall spring forth in their season. And so I kind of took that verse and ran with it with the Nuggets of Wisdom, because kids are little nuggets. They have so many useful bits of information that I learn every day in my teaching. And sometimes they teach me things. And so it's really interesting finding and creating names and how names actually are created. I always wondered how like Walmart got their name and other businesses and stuff like that, how they came up with it. So finding out the history behind businesses and why they created their names will kind of give you too an idea of their reasoning for why they created the company, what their motivation was for building this business. So another thing that Tracy mentioned was building on a specific niche. So the way that my business is a little bit different. I agree with Tracy 100%. If you're good at writing middle school literature, create unit studies, focus on that specific niche. If you're good at writing elementary level math products, go for it. Create your own. Canva is amazing at doing that there. And, I do it differently because everyone actually sends products to me. I don't have a method yet to be able to set up for them to be able to add their own products. So I'm in kind of limbo right now. I'm trying to find a way to transition over to them adding their own products. But because I get to add all the products personally, it's really fun seeing the depth ideas of how detailed some, contractors can be with their materials, and other ones do one more surface. Like, here's an addition review worksheet to do with little dinosaurs on it. It's really fun for elementary levels. I have other women that I've hired. They do self-paced classes. Like I said, Valerie, she does middle school English literature. Diane Robertson, Robertson Academy. She is one of my contractors, phenomenal lady. She writes high school ELA type stuff, and it covers grammar and literature and other things. And her books are very cheap, $4 for a whole year of curriculum. I'd say that's a pretty good deal. That's in there. So it just, everybody's different in what their specific niches are, but I can see that, so-and-so is good at this and they run with it. So like Tracy mentioned, be intentional about what you're doing as well, because if you start it and then kind of like, okay, 30 days go by, I haven't sold anything. Well, don't give up. Finish what you start. And my husband tells me all the time, finish what you start. And it's so true. And there have been times that, yes, it can be so frustrating because you look at it as, this is a whole business. You're responsible for XYZ number of contractors unless you do it yourself. And so I'd like to just share actually nuggets of wisdom to show you kind of what we do that's a little bit different on our own. So I'm just going to share my website that I absolutely love there. So this is our website, Nuggets of Wisdom. I changed it for Valentine's Day because it's coming up. But as you can see, it is different than another person's website. And so my color scheme is different than what someone else will be. Making sure you have maybe a motto. So helping you with your digital resource needs. That's what we do. We have 99% digital resources. We just came out with merchandise that you can actually purchase. And so you just click the tab here and go to merchandise. We have a giveaway that's happening. And then also, if you do create something like this, so we have Valentine's Day first, and then we have blog posts. And one thing I've noticed is that I let my contractors help write blog posts for me if they want. I do. I involve my contractors in my business. So there's my information that you can fill out, and there's shipping policies. That's another thing. Make sure your policies are written out clear as day, because if someone wants a refund, but you have no refunds given on products or whatever it is, or you have 20 days or 30 days, do you pay shipping back? There's other things that you really need to think about. So like Amelia and Tracy were mentioning, if, specifically, do you need to provide shipping? Do you need to provide all this stuff? Who's paying for what? So for us personally, digital products are not refunded because we give them ample opportunities to download things. And so this is something that's very, very, very important to make sure that is involved in your business, in the finite little itty bitty gritty details with that. And then some other things, questions you might have. If you want to join, we are hiring right now. There's our website right there, which I'm sure the admin can put in the chat as well, nuggetsofwisdom4you@gmail.com. And then, so a blog post there, Valentine's Day. And then we also mine's different in that we have all kinds of subjects. Tracy focuses on her stuff. My friend Elizabeth, she just does self-paced classes. Everybody will be different, and that's wonderful that's how that works. And so we're doing a giveaway right now for our curriculum. We just wrote a full year curriculum for 4 to 7-year-olds, and every quarter is different, 8 weeks each. So that's there. But meet our sellers. So we have 32 sellers, including myself right now. So there's Abby. And so I've taken the time, I actually contact and message everyone on a regular basis. I pray for them. And that's something that I think has made such a difference. But everyone gets their own little section of who they are. And then so Christine makes music, and there's her thing right there. So I've done a little bit different where everyone gets their own little bio. If they teach classes on, for instance, like OutSchool or Teach Me Truth or wherever it is, you can click on here and they'll have links to their own website and stuff like that. Diane has her own, she's the one that sells the high school curriculum. So as you can see, it is very different than what you might find. So Fabulous will take her to her Out School where you can sign up for her classes there. So Nuggets of Wisdom is a little bit different because we do offer literally things for all levels. As you can see, it's pre-K, elementary, middle, high school, and adult helps. So that's something else that you need to think about when you are creating materials and creating niches. Do you want to hire contractors? Do you want to deal with the 1099 forms that you need to make sure you get and stuff like that? Some other things are your web bases, where you are getting your website, where, which one is it? Wix? Is it Shopify? Is it WordPress, building your own? Those are some other things to think about. I will say that my husband uses Wix. He has a cleaning business. I do not enjoy it, but for him, it works really well for his business because he doesn't promote a lot of products per se, but I know a lot of people that love Wix. WordPress is something you build your own, so that would take a little bit longer. Shopify was very easy for me to set up products. They have videos you can watch that helps you. Their support is amazing. So that's been really, really good for me personally. And make sure if you are creating separate niches, for instance, you do more educational products or self-help classes, make sure you have them fully separated when you create them. And another thing that Tracy, I'm sure, and Amelia and everyone else would agree with me that's in as an entrepreneur building a business is it's okay to say no. Sometimes you'll get all these offers about, we get a lot of scam emails. I'm sure they can attest to that. To where you can, they'll say, I saw your website and it's not doing as well as it could be. And I get maybe 5 or 6 of them a week. So I usually delete them because we're doing pretty good as is. So Tracy mentioned about getting a person to help you along. I'm to that point where I'm actually going to start looking in the next month or two because we've just been growing steadily. And we're to that point where I don't want to get stagnant. And that's another thing. Don't get stagnant. Well, continue creating, like Amelia said, once a month is a great time frame because you have time to create it. I mean, I have 4 kids. I am so busy with homeschooling and teaching and everything else. So once a month is very good for us. The holidays, think of the holidays. Can you map out activities or worksheets for Martin Luther King Day coming up, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, July 4th? I have a whole unit study on Pearl Harbor in December to kind of cover the in-between between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and different historical things that are really, 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 really important to help with that. Okay. Another option that is available are once you're growing, for instance, we have a homeschool convention in the state of Pennsylvania where I live called CHAP, and it stands for Christian Homeschool Association of Pennsylvania. It's the largest homeschooling convention in our state. You've probably heard of the Great Homeschooling Convention. That's another one that's available out there. They go to, I believe, Ohio, Texas, Kentucky, Virginia, and I think California is another state there. There's also Teach Them Diligently is another conference that's coming up all across, the United States that you can attend and go to. It does cost some money, but what I have done is I have some local people to me who are also contractors, and we actually are splitting the cost between the booths together, and we're selling together because they are contractors with me, making sure we stay within the rules and the laws or whatever the convention has established. So we make sure we stay in their guidelines and stuff like that. But we went from 1 booth the last 2 years. This is our 3rd year at CHAP, and we're actually going to be having 2 booths together this year, which is amazing. I'm so excited to see how this goes. And I have help from other contractors. So not only are we becoming more professional, if I can call it that, but not going into debt, making sure you pay cash for things as much as possible. It just has been a huge help that way. And God has just blessed abundantly. I can't say anything, but God has, helped me with this and given me people around me to talk to. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask people for help. Okay. That's one thing I tell my kids when I teach all the time, because I teach elementary. They struggle with math, struggle with English concepts, whatever it is. Say, don't be afraid to ask for help. I want to help you and people want to help you. Okay. It's not that you're begging for, for free or anything like that. No, I mean, you have friends, you ask them for help. It's not a big deal. And we kind of, I've noticed a lot of us entrepreneur contractors, we kind of help each other with ideas, and I'll say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And, and so we just kind of feed off each other and help each other out. We're not in it to compete with each other. We're not. It's not a competition. We're doing our own thing. We all have our special niches, what we love to do, and we're passionate about it. And I love helping other people. And I just want to say one other thing real quick, and then I'm done. Is my motto last year is striving forward. That was my motto that I really took under wing, and through prayer and just a lot of things, God has just blessed us abundantly with nuggets of wisdom. But the one thing that really got us off the ground actually was Homeschool Quest. And I'll never forget, I posted one freebie, and it's a template for the 50 states. It's normally sold for $2.99. I was giving it away for free, and this was like 2 summers ago, or like July, August, not last year, but year before, and it blew up. And there were so many visits to the website from that one post, it broke my website. And so Amelia or Janet had to message me, and they're in charge of the homeschool group there. And they said, "What is going on?" I said, "I don't know. I don't know." I was just as confused as they were, because I was not expecting something, from one little freebie being offered. And so, just, offer freebie here or there. And so I will say Homeschool Quest, I just am forever thankful for you guys, because that has really just literally boosted our business to become what it is actually right now and today. So thank you for that, Amelia and Janet. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
I remember that. I remember messaging everyone and being like, the website's coming back up. Don't worry, you'll get your freebie. Because everyone was like, this is amazing.
It was awesome. And then, and because I was new to Homeschool Quest, I had never, I think you guys were new as well. And I don't think you guys were expecting so many. It was like 850, 900 comments or something like that. I've never seen that before. It
went viral for sure.
I had close to 3,000 visits in one day, or over like 2 days. It was insane. I was just, whoa.
And that's why it's so important to niche down and create a quality product, because one freebie that is created for a specific person is going to get more views than a freebie that can appeal to everyone, because you were able to appeal to homeschool moms who were specifically looking for a solution, and they loved it. They just ate it up.
I will say templates are a very good selling point. Templates, I create a lot of templates, and they do sell well because it's more generic. It's not specific. So that's just something to throw out there if you're looking. So
thank you so much, Natalie. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to Tina's presentation. I really appreciated all of the great advice that you shared, and it was really nice to hear more about nuggets of wisdom.
Hello, my name is Tina Arizina, and I'm known as the Big Easy Homeschooling Mom on social media. Today I'm going to talk to you about starting a printable business as a homeschool mom. I'm excited to share 10 practical tips for starting your own printable business, all from a homeschool mom's perspective and personal experience. As homeschool parents, we wear many hats: teacher, organizer, and resource creator. Those skills are perfect for building a printable business, and I'm here to show you how I turn my homeschooling experience into a rewarding way to support my family and occupy my time. Number 1, start with what you know. Your homeschooling experience will be your biggest strength. Start by solving a problem you've already encountered. For my daughter, it was reading comprehension. So I started creating reading comprehension passages based on her interests, that including questions and an answer key, plus note-taking sheets. Focus on resources that you can personally use in your homeschool, like lesson plans, activities, or templates that align with your teaching style. Personally, our homeschool is based on interests, so I focus my resources on my daughter's interests. Interest-based also means letting your child or your children be involved in their education. If they are interested in a subject, they will show productivity. Number 2, research your niche. Identify a specific audience. For me, it is helping middle and high school students as well as homeschool parents. I create middle and high school resources, and I also create resources that are helpful for homeschool parents, such as homeschool forums. We have to submit a portfolio to the state of Louisiana yearly, so I create portfolio covers and homeschool forms, such as attendance, grade tracking sheets, things of that nature. Recently, I started creating faith-based resources for teens, young adults, and I am starting to create them for homeschool parents as we speak. A good way to find your niche will be to base it on your homeschool experiences. I decided to homeschool my daughter because I did not like the direction public school was headed, and I wanted to integrate our faith into her schooling. Number 3, create high-quality content. Use beginner-friendly tools like Canva or PowerPoint, Word, Excel. My first sale was a unit study made in Canva. It was a favorite because it was simple and practical. I also started using Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, which are very great tools. But once I started using Canva Pro, I have not looked back. It has everything I could possibly need to create resources. My tip to you would be to use whatever program you feel comfortable with and go from there. Number 4, always test your printables. Let your kids be your testers. Let your family or your friends test out the links. Make sure that it's engaging and it's easy to navigate. That will ensure that your resource is a good resource. If you're creating resources at your child or your children's grade levels, let them be the judge. I also send links to my family or friends to make sure that they open properly and they can navigate through the resource effectively. Once they give the go-ahead, then I upload to my stores. After you do this for a while, you can test them out for yourself. Number 5, use paid and free resources. Start with free tools like Canva, Pixabay, or Unsplash. Later, invest into premium fonts or graphics to elevate your designs. There are a lot of free tools out there, so you do not feel like you need to spend money to make resources. I use Canva Pro to create and Pixabay and Unsplash for my free photos that I do not need copyright permission to use. At the end of my resource, I do give credit to where I download my images or fonts. When pricing your resources, please do some research on other store websites for teachers and homeschoolers so you do not under or overprice your resource. You want to stay competitive in the printable business. Number 6, set up an online store. This could be on Teacher Pay Teacher, Classful, TeachShare, Etsy, Stand Store, Amazon Storefront. Those are all great for beginners. Highlight your homeschooling background to connect with buyers. Just be aware that different sites do charge a percentage once you make a sale on their sites. So personally for me, I have a website which I get 100% of the sale into my pocket. And I do have 4 other stores that take a percentage of my sales. So just choose wisely. There are ones out there that have low percentages. The next one is going to be number 7, optimize your store's SEO. SEO is search engine optimization. It just helps you choose the right words for your resources. That way buyers can connect to your store and your resources. For instance, if you change your product title from Weekly Planner to Edible Weekly Homeschool Planner for Teens and added words like homeschool or printable, you have given more keywords, so hopefully your buyers will search to target your store in resources, therefore giving you more views on your store and then converting those views to sales. The key is to include searchable keywords and titles, your product descriptions, and product tags. This improves visibility to your resources. Number 8, you want to market strategically. Leverage social media and homeschool groups by sharing a free printable like a homeschool attendance sheet. It can help boost your visibility and build trust. Who doesn't like a freebie? By sharing a freebie, people can see the quality of your work. The Homeschool Quest has several groups for homeschooling. They have the Homeschool Quest Free and Affordable group, a Pre-K to First group, a 2nd to 5th group, a 6th to 12th group, a Game Schooling group, a Neurodivergent and Gifted group. They also have the Homeschool Business Builder for advertising and marketing. They have an affordable curriculum and club. Take advantage of all these marketing opportunities by the Homeschool Quest because they are awesome to work with. Number 9, bundle for value. Once you've created enough resources, you can create bundles and save parents and teachers time and money. For example, I make reading comprehension resources with questions and answers and note-taking sheets on different subjects and sell them for $3 a piece. If I bundle 3 of these resources and sell them for $7 or $8, my buyers are saving $1 to $2 per bundle. You can also bundle bundles and save buyers money. The possibilities are endless. The last tip is to stay organized. Plan your time wisely. I dedicate specific days for designing and uploading printables to balance homeschooling my daughter and to balance my business. Homeschooling and running a business can be overwhelming, so plan your time wisely. I set aside specific days for designing and uploading printables. Some people may use planners, digital planners, templates, schedules, etc. to balance homeschooling, designing, and running their business efficiently. Again, I'm Tina, the Big Easy Homeschooling Mom, and I hope that you enjoyed these 10 tips. You can find me on social media on Linktree/Big Easy Homeschooling Mom. I have a website, TidewinAcademyHomeschool.com. My email is bigeasyhomeschoolingmom2you@gmail.com. If you follow me, I will follow you back. Thank you for watching, and remember, you already have the skills to succeed in this business. With tools like SEO, creative content, and a bit of patience, you can create something amazing. Take that first step, and I can't wait to see what you build.
Thank you guys so much for joining us for this expert panel. If you guys have any other questions, go ahead and share them in the comments. I will be sure to answer them. Thank you so much, Tina, for sharing your 10 tips. I appreciated everything that Tracy, Natalie, and Tina had to share, and I hope that this gave you guys kind of a masterclass in starting a homeschool business, really giving you the inside scoop from 3 homeschool parents and a homeschool graduate and marketer of over 20 years. Thank you guys so much again, and I look forward to talking to you again